Assalamu alaikum to all those who are seeing or listening to my presentation. I am Fahim Afzal and I'm here to present digital electronics topic BJT flip-flop circuits. You can find me at this email. So here I can explain my topic in two way BJT and flip-flops or BJT circuits as a flip-flop circuit. So let's start with the first set of slides. First, I'm going to explain I'm going to explain BJT and flip-flop. There are two types of BJT and flip. There are two type of BJT, NPN and PNP, and three regions: saturation, active, and cutoff. In For switching purposes, we ignore this region and work in saturation and cutoff. For BJT, switching speed is very important in electronic circuitry as thousands of BJTs are connected in a single chip or IC. We use speed up capacitor for switching purposes uh, to we use speed up capacitor parallel to base resistance for quick switching. There are also some parasitic capacitance that causes delay in rise and fall times. We can use BJT to implement bistable multivibrators, and these bistable multivibrators have two stable states and they are commonly known as flip-flop. So what is flip-flop? Flip-flop is an electronic device with two stable states that can be used to store binary data. So there are different devices, there are different flip-flops, and and their names are given below. JK Kilby is an engineer name, and his name became the name of his inventions of invented flip flop. JK flip flop, SR flip flop, set or reset. It is also known as SC, set or clear flip flop. T toggle flip flop, mostly used in counter. D data delay flip flop, or as clock flip flop. SR flip flop can be used with clock, and that named it as a clock flip flop. All these types will be explained in the next slide with enough information related to the BJTs. So big concept BJT must have good switching speed and less heat dissipation. As I explained, thousands of BJTs are connected in a single IC or chip. Flip-flop mostly used to store binary data on two stable states. So now flip-flop, there are two types of flip-flop triggering: level triggered and edge triggered. Level triggered flip-flop encounter changes in output if the enabled input is held at high level, then the level be high or low. And there are further two type of level flip-flop. If output changes when clock is high, then it is positive level triggered, and otherwise it is negative level triggered. On the other hand, an edge-triggered flip-flop responds to changes in input. Flip-flop in which output is obtained corresponding to rising edge is positive edge flip-flop, and for falling edge it is negative edge flip-flop. It will be clear when we will discuss the diagram. So in our digital electronic course, we have studied these flip-flops. Using BJT, we can make bistable multivibrator, and bistable multivibrator can act as a flip-flop. Using bistable, we can make T flip-flop. What is T flip-flop? The T flip-flop toggle flip-flop is a bistable multivibrator. Is symmetrically triggered by an input to one terminal. AC flip-flop. The AC flip-flop sets or resets the output using two input S and C. Clocked SC flip-flop, the only difference in SC and clocked uh, uh, is the clock that it work on clocks falling or high uh, edges. D flip-flop. D flip-flop is similar to JK flip-flop with a single control terminal. JK flip-flop is similar to clocked SC flip-flop with one exception, and I will explain it uh, uh, while I will discussing it in this detail with the figures. Using circuit diagrams to explain the flip-flop. So This is toggle or T flip flop. So if we remove these three diodes, we can see that these diodes and this one capacitor, the circuit will be similar to uh, symmetrical bistable multivibrator. So uh, when Q1 is on and Q2 is off, then the anode of D3 has 0.2 volt and the anode of D1 has VCC is equal to VCC. So here there will be negative voltage at this junction of diode. So when Q1 on and Q2 off, there will be negative voltage at the cathode of D3 and zero point 0.2 voltage at the anode. That will make him reverse bias and D1 forward bias and D1 as a forward bias. So when we apply input here, then D1 became reverse bias and D3 became forward bias and Q1 became off and Q2 switches to on. I will explain it. So sorry, why we use D2 here. So the working of D2 is that D2 will take care of any unwanted transition or spikes or any unwanted state. So it will remove any spikes or unwanted states that comes during switching. So here you can see a bubble or NOT gate. So it is falling edge or negative going edge flip flop. So when falling edge came, the output became high and it will remain high until the uh, falling edge came and toggles the input from low to high. And this is the same procedure here. Q bar Q bar is the second output and this will act opposite to the uh, first output Q output. When Q is low, Q bar is high. When Q bar is high, Q is high, Q bar is low. So similarly, here you can see that there is no bubble here. So this is positive edge, rising or positive going edge. So when rising edge came, the output became high and it will remain high until the other rising edge came and the output became low. So it toggles on the rising edge of the T input. So this is now SC flip flop. If we remove these two transistor and resistor, the circuit will remain same to uh, uh, circuit will remain same to the bistable multivibrator. So one thing that I forgot, that these C1 C2 are hold charges and they are also called speed up capacitors and are also called commutating capacitors. Now coming back to our HC flip flop, so its working will be same and these SC are the inputs and Q bar are the output. I will explain it below. Here you can see this bubbles. So it is a negative edge flip flop. It will work on falling edge when out S is high here and clock is also high, but the output remains low. It remains low until the falling edge came. When falling edge came, the when falling edge came on S set input, the output became high and it remained high until the falling edge of C clear or reset input came, and it remained low until or unless the falling edge of set input came and it make it high. Q remains opposite to the Q bar. This is acid flip flop. There is no bubble here, so it is positive edge, and it will be when S is 1 and C is 1, the output will be unpredictable. And remember this point, this is clock. It will work on clock's uh, rising edge because there is no bubble here. Same is the procedure as I explained above. D flip flop. You can see that there's no bubble here, so it will work on rising edge. The output remains zero, and you can see that the input is high and low, but output, there's no change in output. The output changes when input became high and the rising edge came. And the first rising, when the first rising edge came between the duration when input D is high, the output will become high and it will remain high until the D became low, and it remains and the output became low when D became low, input D became low, and clock's rising edge came. So Q bar will act opposite to Q. JK flip flop is similar to clocked SC flip flop. There is no bubble here, so it will act as a it will work on rising edge. So same is the case here. It is similar to SC clock flip flop. The exception is here when SC flip flop. Uh, its SC flip flops output become unpredictable when S is high and C is high. Here J and high and K is high. In the when J high and K high, the output uh, became toggle on every rising edge of the clock. So it becomes toggling the output on every rising edge of the clock when J is high and K is high. Q is opposite to it. So let's review some concept. BJT in saturation, BJT base emitter and collector base junction is forward bias, and reverse bias in cutoff. In saturation, collector emitter junction is short circuit, and in cutoffs, collector emitter junction is open circuit. Flip flop is same as I explained above. The interesting point only here is that flip flop can be used to mask or hide the bits. Thanks. You can find me at this mail. Thank you very much for listening. Allah Hafiz.